All right. Hello and welcome, everyone. So, this is the first video in what is going to be quite a long series. We are doing build refreshes for all of the Warframes in the game, and we're just going to go in alphabetical order because that makes sense, and that's just what we're going to do. There will, of course, be a few exceptions to this build refresh, as obviously, we have some Warframes that are brand new that just got a builds video. I may go over some of them from last year again, especially if like buffs happen in the course of doing these videos. But we're starting today with Ash. So Ash, haven't talked about him in a long time, and things have changed for Ash. He runs a little bit differently now due to just like doing Steel Path things and just what's kind of asked of us in the game. But his build revolves around Bladestorm currently. So, few things to note here, because I would say that the way that I'm running Ash is maybe a little bit different than other people are running Ash, because I don't really put any stock whatsoever into his one or his one augment. It is neat to be able to strip armor, but I personally actually prefer teleport for a couple of different reasons. So, what's going on with this build? What's the point of this build? This is a helmethed build. We are helmeting on silence, and we are using the augment for silence, savage silence, which is of course why this is like, the savage Ash build. This is finisher damage is increased by 300% while silence is active. With the amount of power strength that we have, that is 829% finisher damage, which is a lot. Turns out Bladestorm is finishers. So whenever you make them do 829% more damage, that gets pretty crazy pretty fast. The whole point of this build is that you are going to eventually build up combo and get an additional multiplier from that is going to be affecting Bladestorm, and then your Bladestorms are going to hit enemies for like 1,000,000 damage plus the guaranteed slash proc, and then that guaranteed slash proc is buffed by Ash's passive, and even without that, 1,000,000 damage slash proc is going to pretty much kill anything that exists in Warframe as long as it's vulnerable to that. And even outside of that, the list of enemies that will survive a hit of that amount of damage is pretty low even besides. So this build does a ton of damage and keeps you very, very safe between Smokescreen and the arcane that is basically built specifically for Ash at this point, Arcane Trickery. Arcane Trickery is on finisher kill, 15% chance to become invisible for 30 seconds. This is an incredible arcane for Ash. 30 seconds of invisibility really helps out. With this build, you're pretty much always going to be getting kills from Bladestorm, so you're going to be invisible with no real energy cost most of the time. And then any time that needs to be filled in, you just pop a smoke screen. This like 7.5 second duration is okay, and it's not too expensive for your energy economy. And it just works out nice. I will say a major thing in this build that you do not need is Prime Sure-Footed. You do not need anything, honestly, in your Exilus slot. And Prime Sure-Footed is mostly because I like to use the Bubonico with Ash in order to like shoot some viral out there, and also to have a weapon that I can focus on single targets if they're not vulnerable to Bladestorm, or if I just want to take down an Acolyte in Steel Path or what have you. Bubonico is good for a variety of reasons for Ash. But in order to use it willy-nilly, how I like, going to need Prime Sure-Footed, and that's going to be true of a lot of the explosive weapons that you're probably going to want to be using, such as like the Kuvazar, or there's very many weapons, the Ogress, etc., etc., etc. Other than that, this is a lot of strength. I will say, you do not need Blind Rage. You don't need it, but it does make number go up. And that's great. You could entirely drop Blind Rage, and you'll be doing plenty of damage for, well, pretty much all content anyway, but it might be a little bit harder to proc Trickery all the time. But dropping Blind Rage makes it super easy to not have Energize and to have your energy economy just still be great, because obviously, as you can see, we are out here using max Streamline, max Fleeting Expertise, and Prime Flow. So the energy economy is kind of a big thing here. If you use this build and you feel like you're just like totally fine with the energy economy as it stands right now, feel free to try out dropping Streamline, maybe a lower rank Fleeting. Like, there's a few things you can do here. I really would not suggest dropping Prime Flow. because you really want that high energy max, especially if you are going to be using Energize. But there's a few different, quality of life things you can put in Streamline. Some people do prefer to use the augment for his 1 and instead replace Teleport for Savage Silence. Lots of viable ways to run Ashe, but this is the way that I like to do it. In terms of other stuff, there are a few things to note for Ashe and using him. I have my Zaw here. I just use a dagger Zaw. Any Zaw will do. And I have a variety of things on this that work with Ashe. So, first and foremost, Ashe's finishers in his 4 are affected by attack speed. So, you want 50% attack speed. That's the cap for how much works with it. And you definitely want that, because if you don't have that, his 4 goes extremely slowly. You can get that in a variety of ways. You don't have to use Primed Fury. I happen to have it on here. I also have Quickening on here. Quickening and regular Fury, gonna do you just fine. No big deal. Primed Reach and Primed Pressure Point, not needed at all for this. I hardly ever swing this thing. They're just on here in case I want to build combo that way, or if I want to hit a guy with it. Everything else, Body Count, Drifting Contact, and Gladiator Rush, these are all combo duration mods. These make it so that my combo is 30 seconds long. This means that I really don't have to babysit it, because Ashe's 4 adds to the combo counter and will reset the combo counter. It's going to be a cold day in hell before my combo runs out, so I'm going to be at max combo 99% of the time. Also, Ashe's 4 is affected by combo chance. So I'm using True Punishment because there's not really a lot that we lose in terms of our combo duration from this. And it helps us build up very fast. And then we're also using Quickening, which has the 20% combo count chance. Both of these stats are good for Ashe, so you probably really want to use Quickening. And just to talk about it, this is the reason why this is a Zaw. You do not need to use the Zaw. This is a very minor bonus. I do have Exodia Triumph equipped at rank 3. This is a 50% additional combo count chance. You do not need to do this. You do not need this at all in any way, shape, or form, but it is available. Other things you can also do. You can also get Exodia Might on finisher kill, 50% chance for 30% lifesteal. For me personally, there's better ways to get healing than this. This is just not worth it. You should instead, if you're going to focus on an arcane that can get you healing, focus on the operator ones that can do that, as opposed to this. But if you want to do a big min max, you should probably use a Zaw. And throw, the additional combo count chance on there just for boosting up to 12x combo really fast. Other things you can do though, with the few things that you kind of need on here, you could really easily get away with just going Body Count, Drifting Contact for that extra 22 seconds of combo, and then put an attack speed mod on here, and then the other 5 mod slots you could really easily go with a contagion build, kind of a light contagion build that's not all in, and get some benefit from that as well. Plenty of different things you can do for the stat stick that still end up with a lot of benefit to you. All right. Let's talk about weird shit with Ashe, because there is a bit of weirdness that we're going to talk about here. And most of this is due to, I think, his kit just being kind of old. So, whenever you go into his 4, and I'm just going to pause the enemy AI for this, you go into this mode, and you aim at enemies, and it will mark them. Recently, relatively recently, I suppose, you get full 3 marks whenever you do this, okay? So this means the enemy will be hit 3 times by the clones if that is needed. With this build, it's going to be once. 1 is going to be how many times they're going to get hit with this build. But there are many things that can make this faster. There's the attack speed, and also, if you slide into holding 4 to activate this ability, I know that's stupid. For whatever reason, it uses a shorter finisher animation cycle, and it will make this ability go faster. So normally, it looks like this. And you can see even baseline, these are level 185s, this ability kills. We spawn these guys in again. Mark all demands and slide into it. You can see the much faster animation that this is using. I do not know why it still does that, but that is a thing that it does. Of note, for those of you that are using Ash, it is weird, but whatever. So the intent here, I mean, we can unpause this. Not that it's going to matter very much. The intent here is that you're going to use your 1, which is Savage Silence now. You're going to mark everybody with your 4, and then you're going to see some very funny damage numbers pop up. You know, 500,000 slash, 733,000 slash. And this is, we're only at 10x combo. We still have some more multipliers to get in there. Not to mention being able to put viral on enemies to make that damage go up even higher. It's a hilarious amount of damage, and it's a very funny way to play. That works in a good variety of game modes, including Defection. Or not Defection, but Disruption, rather. So yeah. It's good stuff for Ash. I think there's a few quality of life things that Ash would like really appreciate having. Like I would really love it if teleport didn't need a target in order for you to use the teleport. And I think it'd be really nice if there wasn't an activation on Bladestorm. It just started attacking dudes whenever they got marked. But other than that, I think Ash is in a really solid spot. Like all things considered, he's doing pretty good. He's able to do pretty much any content. He's very well-rounded. He's got, you know, just a solid mix of abilities that lets him do pretty much whatever he wants. So yeah, that's Ash. I do have like 10 minutes or so of just like doing some Steel Path survival. That's going to go in after this. Hopefully you guys enjoy that, and I will see you tomorrow. Like I said, we are going to be going in alphabetical order through all the frames, so expect to see that coming up. Worth noting, I have been doing streams talking about all these build refreshes and stuff, so if you want to head over to twitch.tv/Brozime, there will be many a thing there as well. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the Steel Path stuff. Goodbye. Also worth noting, the Steel Path run that I included is just a leveling run for Ash. It's what I did to put the last Forma in him, because the difference between a leveling run for Ash and a regular run for Ash, because I'm MR 30, is basically nothing. Anyway, enjoy it. Goodbye.
Another life support capsule is now available. Operative is making progress. This will help our cause. Extraction is available if you need it. Look what our Tenno operative just found. They could not do this without you.
Your will was greater. This is good.